Welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. Well, I love catching big fish, and everybody loves their own tallies, don't they? Everybody likes to get their own PB, or even better than a sort of PB is the first of a new species, one you've never even caught before. Well, I'm not going to say I love catching small fish, I like catching big fish, but even I've got my little tallies. My personal tally that I'm proud of is 34 different species of fish over 100 pounds in weight. Some of them are over 1,000 pounds. But it doesn't really matter, because you can catch a little fish like this. It can still be a personal best, can still be an achievement. Let's go a little bit of pier fishing, a little bit of mini species chasing, and I'll tell you what, it can be really good fun. Any pier, any jetty, it can be metal, it can be concrete, it can be wood. Anything that juts out into the sea gives you that extra bit of depth of water that enables you to catch some really good shorefish. Now this is Portsmouth Harbour. It's a commercial area. There's plenty of boat traffic going in and out, and there's also some very big fish in there. But as with all areas like this, they're going to have a no fishing zone, and one of the no fishing zones invariably is the marina on the inside. Most marinas don't allow any fishing at all, one assumes because they don't want the fishing line tangled up in the propellers of the boats, which is understandable. Unfortunately for the angler, there's some very big fish in those marinas. Bass, mullet, who knows what else. So everybody tends to walk down to the end of the pier. But of course you can get a lot of mini species close to the legs and the stanchions and the supports of the pier. So I decided to go down there, and who should I find but Wayne Comben, who's had huge thresher shark and a monster porbeagle shark, and here he is, fishing like a child down the side of a pier. What does he expect to catch?
Okay, well, I suppose I would call this LRF. Really it's just mini bashing, little mini species. I'm by no way an expert on this. For that you need to speak to my very good friend Dan Sissons, who is sublime at that type of fishing. People do get very precious about it sometimes. As far as I'm concerned, you know, just go out, have fun. Some of the worst culprits who say that's not like rock fishing. Well, I'm sorry guys, what, you got to be fishing off rocks to like rock fish? You know, come on, just enjoy yourself, that's all you need to do.
And sometimes big fish come around here, Wayne?
Oh, funny enough, ideally you'd have a little drop net here, so little fish you bring up, get them down quick, little drop net, let them go quick. It's not always possible, so often you just splosh a fish back in. 99 times out of 100 they just go back fine, but just occasionally you see a big old mouth come up underneath them and wallop. Big bass will hit them, seen it more than once. So there's all sorts of things on here. A friend of mine had a top knot caught here. You get all the gobies, blennies, bannons, cork wings, scorpion fish, smelt. There's all sorts basically, because it's a nursery area, the harbour. Obviously this structure, that's going to bring a lot of different species here. Most of them are going to be small, let's face it, but the odd decent bass, the odd decent mullet will be caught here, and as we speak, I'm in to another little fish.
Fish on, Wayne?
Yes, yeah.
Tiny piece of rag was the best
Yeah,
bait,
yeah, a little tiny bit of rag, can't beat it. Well, strips of squid will work as well, but there you go. I'm going to put him back quick because they're not the hardest to fish.
Now, somewhere over there, the other side is Portsmouth. Is that where they have big bass as well sometimes?
Yeah, well, if you pan across in a moment, what you'll see is Spinnaker Tower, and if you go just to the left as we're looking, you'll see the Warrior, and you'll see Portsmouth Dockyard. And just inside the dockyard was a sailor, actually. He just dropped a I think he was just fishing a bit of ragworm, similar to what we're doing. And I believe there's different stories about what happened, but I actually spoke to a sailor that knows him, and he said that he caught a small fish, a pout, and the bass whopped that, and they didn't even know what he had, and it was just shy of £20 basically. He took it to the tackle shop, and bloke identified it and said, "It's a good fish you got there, mate." So I think he sold it to the tackle shop fella, or gave it to him, you know, for a donation for Help the Heroes, and they had it in there for a while, show people. So dockyard is full of big fish. You can't fish in there unless you remember, but there are some huge fish in there, and it's a good thing actually, because they're pretty much protected if they hang around that area. Okay, got another corkwing. Seen getting plagued by the corkwings, but still good fun. Another way of identifying mark is the spot on the tail, which is not exactly clear on this one. The smaller ones is even less clear sometimes, but we'll just be able to see it. Yeah, the spot's a little bit more clear on that side, but that's another ID mark.
Go followed on with Wayne's. What can I say? We go shark fishing and then we come out here where we get PBs and now we get PSs. That's a personal small one. Just shows you can just have some amusement catching these little chappies like that. But boy, did they strip the baits quick, didn't they, Wayne?
Oh yes.
Thinking it would do the same thing as that, Wayne, with that corking or something?
Yeah, looks.
It's like a cut out there somewhere.
Yeah, little serrated edge, little corkwing bass.
Yeah, pretty little chappie. Getting back, see if we catch another one.
Absolutely.
Love to see a big bass eating bush.
Oh, listen, that is a very real prospect, because you'll see that more than once on this pier. If you catch little fish and chuck them back in, often a big mouth come out and wallop. Here you go, Graham. First little one, first drop. Doing a little bit of LRF fishing here, and a little corkwing.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a corkwing by the gill plate there. Pretty little thing. And
how big they go, Rain?
Not big at all. These are little mini species really. Not as big as the ballons. Little corkwing. Pretty fish though.
How do you tell it then? You're going to say how you tell it?
Little the gill cover there. It's just if you can see, it's a serrated sort of gill cover. But,
I see the angle on it. Yeah, because it's a sort of Ballamass colour, isn't it?
Yeah, they can be very similar, and they've got all sorts of colours on them. But I'm going to let this fish go very quickly, because they're not that hardy, and I'm no LRF expert, so someone might say that's a ballon, but I'm certain it's a corkwing.
Okay.
Part of the fun of pier fishing is you never really know what you're going to come up with, and if you use these small hooks, just literally, I use a sort of a size 10 freshwater hook, a little small Arsley bomb lead, and I'm going basically just with 12 to 15 pound line straight through. You can get lots of little fish like that. No need to keep them. I know there are some people that do keep them. I don't know what they do with them, but obviously eat them, make a soup or something like that. But why? Why would you do that? There's plenty of food in the supermarkets. Your best bet is to put them all back, and then you've got something to catch another day. Even get these wrasse going on a 2-hook paternoster rig or a 2-hook running ledger rig, 2 at a time. When these fish are on the bite, they're on the bite. You can barely take that bait away from them. And the bait is, of course, ragworm, not whole ragworm, sections of ragworm, but watch out for those little pinchers on the end, because they do have little nippers. They won't really hurt you, but they make kids jump, you know. In fact, they make me jump if you have a big king ragworm. It's really, the fishing is into the unknown, and if you're targeting these mini species, you still have to catch them. It's no different from going out in a boat or going off the beach or off the rocks. You still have to target fish. And what is this one? Now that looks like some form of goby to me. Another tip is just touch that line with your fingers. Just hold the line across your fingers and you can feel the little taps, the little bites, the little nibbles, and just barely keep some tension on the line. Don't use leads that are too heavy. That's the main thing. A lot of people go on piers and then they cast out miles. There's actually more chance of catching fish just dropping your bait straight down the edge, because a lot of small fish get round there. Fish like this little pouting here, and of course this makes a superb bass bait. That's what the big bass swim around the pier legs looking for, shoals and shoals of these pouting. And you can see the tiny piece of bait I'm using there is just a segment of ragworm. Just snip it up with a pair of scissors, or you can snap it with your thumbnail. And again, if you put a fish back like this, you can either let it go on its own, or you can put a hook in it, float fish it, and hopefully you might catch a bass. On the day in question, although there was a howling wind on this pier, the wrasse were definitely on the bite. Not big fish, but let's face it, you still have to catch them. Set yourself a target, see how many different species you can catch in one day. Well, after half a day on this pier catching those different species, I thought it's time for a move. So Wayne had a couple of hours spare in the afternoon. We decided to go to another pier on the other side of Portsmouth Harbour and see what we could catch there. Yes, a little bit more lead was needed, and what is this? It looks to me like one of those pretty unusual looking gobies. Is it the black goby? All you light tackle experts out there might know exactly what species this is Wayne's got there. But there's more tide here, and that's what we needed the extra weight for. But it just goes to show you, even with a strong tide, you've got fish like this to catch, and they're all a different target. And to be honest, in their own right, they're all worth catching. They're all a bit of fun. You get back what we call the kids' sort of fun factor of fishing, just dropping down the side. You don't know what's going to take on the end. But of course, your priority fish around the south coast certainly is going to be the wrasse. All I use is a tiny piece of ragworm, or you can even peel a crab's legs. If you've got peeler crabs left over and you've frozen them, just take the shell off the leg, peel them, and you can make a double bait for something a little bit bigger of 3 inches.
I'm waiting for a big bass to eat this. Oh yeah, that's about what? How many now, Wayne? 5, 6 species?
7.
7 species just by moving, and this one looks horrendous. Now sometimes I call them bullheads, but you call them what, sea scorpions, Wayne?
I'd say that's a sea scorpion of sorts. You get long spined and short spined. I'm not sure which one that is.
A different, you know, just to come messing around off the shore and catch all these disgusting little things, all of which Wayne's tell me are definitely non-poisonous. But I need my forceps on this one to get a hold of him properly.
They're definitely not poisonous. I'll tell you what, people think they are. They're not. The only one that sting you is a weaver.
The weaver, which people are likely to get weavers off inshore.
They're not. Yes, you do, because people tread on them. So, but the funny thing is, I don't recall anyone catching a weaver off of this pier. So
I'm going to try and balance that one on my finger. I don't know if you can see him there. Look, he's got like big horns on the top there. Weird horns, and they are horns. They're hard. Quite a biggish mouth. Can't open it, but it's quite a biggish mouth there.
They got very big mouths actually. That's a small one, but
and
they
big like pectorals there, like a sort of gurnardy, what I would say, pectorals.
Yeah. It's you get long spined and short spined, as I say. I personally don't know the difference. But,
so the spines would be here, Wayne.
I think you turn them upside down and show their underside, and I think something like that gives them away. But
really?
Yeah, I can't pretend I'm an expert. I'm not going to try. As I say, you need to speak to somebody like Dan Sissons who knows his stuff on these fish.
Many species, right? Let's get him back. A great session, just shows you, you can get out there, have some fun with light tackle. And listen, okay, it's not lures. You call it what you want. LRF. Me and Wayne have called it something different. What we call it, Wayne?
I call it
ultralight fishing. ULF. We've just founded it now today.
I'll tell you what I'd call it: mini bashing.
And you know what it's fishing for? Nuts. Only for nuts.
And I can tell everyone watching.
Don't agree.
Graeme is nuts. There we go, little Tom Pop Lenny. Pretty little fish. Funny enough, these things bite you. Not hard, but they will bite you.
What's on top of his head there?
That's
mate?
it. You can tell he's a tom pot by those little. I wouldn't even be sure what they're called. Those little horn-like.
Tentacles.
Yeah. But these are. That's quite a big one actually. That's not a bad size for a tom pot. But there you go. I'm putting back quick because they're feisty little fish. Very nice. And there you go. And they will bite you. They really will. So if you've got your kids fishing with them, tell them to watch their fingers. It won't hurt you, but they will make an effort to nip you. But pretty little fish. Very nice.
So what exactly was this weird looking species? Some form of monster blenny? It looks pretty unusual. It's got a big mouth. All you guys out there ought to tell us what it is, because I don't know myself. And here comes a bite from a wrasse using an LRF light tackle rod. It's bent double, basically with the tide and the weight there. And you know, these LRF rods are very, very sensitive in the tip, and they are excellent for fishing down the side of piers for very small species. If you get the chance to try one out, definitely worth a look at. So there you have it. Get out there, try some of this pier fishing with mini species in mind. I'm sure you'll enjoy yourself and have some fun.